Yeah, so welcome everybody to this tapping circle to work on our blockages as a practitioner, to our business. And I want to thank you for showing up for yourself today. And if you're here, it's because you know how important it is to work on the energetic side to our business, not just the strategic and the practice side. And what I mean by the energetic side, I mean our emotions, our beliefs, our programmings, and our patterns that lie underneath that are quietly driving our actions and our decisions without us even knowing so, and also many times sabotaging us. So this is what we're addressing today. And one of the things that was very clear to me, made very clear to me in my own training 10 years ago, was that the difference between someone who has a thriving practice and one who doesn't is that in the first one, they will have worked on themselves energetically. And that's what I did from the beginning. I worked energetically on my relationship to my business, and it made all the difference because I could have like a full client schedule. It went really well. And then in my country, in Lebanon, we had a series of challenges. We had our currency devalued, our money taken from the bank, explosions, we had wars, we're still in a war, like many, many challenges. And each time it brought up a different aspect for me. I had to come back to certain programmings. And now we can see all over the world there are challenges to running a business anywhere you're living today. So this is very important. It's a continuous work. It's not something you do once and then that's it. So my invitation to you today is to stay open, to be curious, and allow yourself to be surprised. Your conscious mind might tell you, like, no, this is what my issues are. But actually, your subconscious mind might actually tell you something else. So just be like completely open. And not everybody here is an EFT practitioner. Actually, we're quite a mix. Some of us are coaches, some of us are Reiki healers, some of us are more in the creative business. It actually doesn't matter. It brings a very beautiful flavor to our work together because we all have precious gifts to share in the world. And if we look around us, we definitely need people sharing their gifts. Okay, so we're using EFT, which is this beautiful somatic and cognitive approach to healing and well-being that will allow us to release unwanted emotions, shift limiting beliefs, and rebalance our nervous system. Because at the end of the day, we're interacting with the world through our nervous system. Okay, so I'd like to share something here. So I'm just sharing. Here we go. Can everybody see that? All right. Just a couple like guidelines for us to work as a group in a harmonious way, just for you to know this is a safe place for learning, for self-exploration and sharing. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to raise your hand. And for us on a laptop, it's under reactions. You'll find like raise your hand. If you're on the phone, it will be under more. Okay. Or just type in the chat if you like. So feel free to ask any questions you want. I want to invite you to be really present. Put your phones away. This is 90 minutes for you. All right. And just make sure you're in a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. I advise you to have some water, maybe some tissues. And please have your camera on if possible, unless you're like moving around. It's nice to be able to see faces. And please keep yourself muted unless you're speaking. Most importantly, remember to be kind to yourself throughout the session. There's no right or wrong way to experience EFT. Don't be surprised if you're yawning a lot, if you happen to burp, if you get a bit emotional, if you feel a bit tired, if you feel energized. Like all of these are all welcomed. All right. Whatever comes up, just be open and curious and allow yourself to participate in whatever way feels right to you. So, what I'd like to invite you to do right now is just put everything aside. Let's allow ourselves to arrive. And I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. That's it. And just take a big breath in, a deep breath in and out. That's it. And now take another breath in and just hold it. Breathe in. And release with a sigh of good feeling. Feel your feet on the floor. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded as you breathe in and out. Allow yourself to come fully into the present moment here and now so that you can really benefit from these 90 minutes. And just notice how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, and notice how you're feeling in your body, physically. That's it. And just making space for all of that. Nice. And slowly, slowly, you can open your eyes. That's it. So working as a group is very powerful in EFT. When we work as a group, it can really amplify the work. And there's something called borrowing benefits. So even if we're tapping on things that don't seem directly relevant to you, it's been shown time and time again, just by tapping, it will help you shift on your issues. Okay, we have these mirroring neurons in our brain. And that's why, when we hear someone laughing, we'll laugh or smile. Or if we see someone crying, we'll feel that urge because we have this mirroring neurons in our brain and we can feel like what other people are feeling. All right. So when someone relaxes, the whole group can relax. All right. So group work is very powerful. It's different than working in an individual session. So if you notice like, wow, there's like some intense memories coming up or there's something traumatic, you can just make note of it. And I would suggest doing an individual session. That's best for that. And so right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the points together and we're going to hold the points. So we're going to go to the side of the hand and I just want you to hold there and just close your eyes, okay, and take a breath. That's it. We're breathing and holding the point. Very good. And now we're going to go to the top of the head and just take a breath in and release. That's it. And now we're going to go to top of the eyebrow. You can use one hand or two. The points are on both sides. Close your eyes and just take a breath in and hold and release. That's it. Allowing ourselves to arrive in our body fully today. Side of the eyes, right on the temple. Again, you can use both hands or just one. Take a breath in and release. Under the eyes. That's it. Hold the point and take a breath in and release. Under the nose, you can take a breath in and release. On the chin, in the groove, take a breath in and release. Under the collarbone, just here, not here, here. That's it. And just hold that point and take a breath in. That's it. And release. Under the arms, right? A couple centimeters under the arms. Take a breath in as we hold the point. That's it. And release. On the wrist, hold the point and take a breath in. And release. The thumb can hold it on both sides of the nail. Take a breath in. And release. Index finger, both sides. Hold the point, take a breath in. And release. Middle finger, hold the point, take a breath in. And release. Ring finger, hold the point, take a breath in. And release. Pinky. That's it. Hold the point, take a breath in. And release. Yeah, and here the 9 gamut, which we're not going to use all the time, but at some point we will use it. So it's in between these 2 fingers, right there, right? And just hold and take a breath. That's it. And release. Okay, amazing. So you filled out a reflection prior to our meeting, so I hope you have that with you. We might refer to that. And where are we here? I just want to share a page. Yeah. So that's it. Okay. So I'd like you to make note of a few sentences before we start, because you'll check them before we start the work, and then you'll check them after we do the work. Okay? So I just want you to make note of this question. I believe I can receive X from my business. So it's basically, what would you like to receive from your business? Choose something that isn't already happening for you. Okay. So maybe it's about what you're charging for your session or your offering. Maybe it's about having a certain number of new clients in a month. Maybe it's about being fully booked. Maybe it's about earning a certain amount of money, £5,000, $5,000 in a month. So just make note and just jot it down. Okay. And I also want you to jot down how true it feels for you right now. So 10 is like, absolutely, this is going to happen. 0 is like, there's no way this is going to happen. And 5 is like half and half. Okay. So just make note of that and just put the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. And so now the next statement I want you to address is, it feels safe for me to thrive in my business. You know? So a lot of times, a lot of things come up for us when we think about succeeding. So how safe do you feel about thriving in your business? So 10 is absolutely, I feel safe, I feel allowed to thrive in my business. 0 is like, not at all. Okay. Okay. First thing that comes to mind, huh? And then the next is one word describing how you feel when you think about having a thriving business. So you have busy clients, you have good income coming, your calendar is full, you know? How does it make you feel? Honestly, could be more than one thing. Okay, and just please make note of that. And finally, for those of you who give sessions, just make note of how much would you charge for a session? That's it. How much would you charge for a session? That's it. All right. Very good. All right, and at the very end, we'll come back and see where you're at with all of those. So right now, I want to open the circle to prepare the field for working on the blockages. All right. So we're going to start tapping on the side of the hand. Am I going too fast or is everybody okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you're okay. If I don't see a thumbs up, it means you need another minute.
Can you just explain, please, what is to thrive?
A thriving is flourishing.
To flourish my business. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you.
Okay, take another minute.
Um, Elena,
Yeah.
this morning I woke up with a pain here in my joint here.
Mm.
So can I do this exercise with you?
Yeah, of course. If
Yeah.
it's hurting you, you can just skip it. You know?
No, I want to give it energy.
Oh, okay. Yalla, then you can do it. Yeah, whatever feels okay for you.
Okay.
Okay. So you're not pulling on it, huh? It's just like this little tapping.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But just giving everyone like a few more moments just to jot down what's coming to them. Uh-huh. Okay. Ready to jump in? Paula, are you good? Yeah, perfect. So let's do it. We're going to open the circle together. We're going to start tapping. So as we're tapping, please repeat the words out loud. And of course, feel free to adjust any words you want. You're taking responsibility also for your well-being. So side of the hand, even though part of me is excited about building a thriving business and sharing my gifts with the world, another part of me may have some concerns or fears. Today, I'm open to listening to all these parts of me with compassion. Again, even though part of me truly wants this journey, another part of me feels uncertain about what lies ahead. I welcome all these parts of me. One more time. Even though I may not fully understand the beliefs and fears or patterns holding me back from thriving, I'm open to discovering them. I thank them for trying to protect me, and I'm open to releasing what no longer serves me. Top of the head, building my business. Top of the eyebrow, growing something that matters to me. Side of the eye, sharing my gifts with people who need them. Under the eyes. Part of me is excited. Under the nose. Part of me is uncertain. On the chin. Not knowing exactly what lies ahead. Under the collarbone. So many possibilities. Under the arm. Wanting to make a difference. On the wrist. Maybe there's some hidden fears. On the thumb. Maybe there's some doubts. Index finger. Part of me is just trying to protect me. Middle finger. Maybe these protective parts have been doing their best. Next finger. I'm choosing to listen with curiosity. Small finger. I thank them for trying to keep me safe. Top of the head. I'm open to understanding myself better. Top of the eyebrow. I'm open to seeing what no longer serves me. Side of the eye. I'm open to releasing what I'm ready to let go of under the eyes. I'm open to creating space for new possibilities under the nose, thanking my fears and doubts for the protective role they've played on the chin, making space for greater confidence, greater ease, and opportunity. And just stop and take a breath. And of course, if there's anything you want to put in the chat, feel free to do that. And now this might have moved some things for you. So one of the common blockages is this one. I'm not good enough to succeed and thrive in my work and business. And I'd like you to rate that on a scale of 0 to 10. So 10 is, yeah, it's true. I'm not good enough to succeed and thrive in my work. 0 is, I don't believe that at all. And if you're here, you're probably not going to have 0. Everybody's going to be somewhere in the middle. Okay. And I'd like you to think about, I'm not good enough to succeed or thrive in my work because what is it? You don't have enough experience? And I have some examples here to help you. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough experience. You think others are better than you. You're worried you're going to be criticized. These are just some ideas. You don't think you can make money. You don't feel you have what it takes. Okay, so go ahead and jot that down. And I'd love to hear, and also let me know, how do you want to feel instead? And just go ahead and put in the chat for me, like what came up for you? What was the number regarding this?
Lena, I wrote you a
Yeah.
message.
Yes.
So, what do you expect?
Uh, you're at the end of your career. Okay. I don't know, however way you want to answer that, Nada. If there's still something blocking you from your work, what's still like, what is it you still want from your work? You can make note of that. So if my question didn't quite hit it for you, just tell me what your block is. Write down what your block is and rate it, regarding your work. And just rate it. How true is it? And why you feel that way. Okay. Because like I said, like even if we're working on something that's less relevant for you, by tapping together, it will have an impact on you. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not seeing any numbers. How true is it for you that you don't feel you're good enough to succeed in your business? And we're all in a different place in our business. Okay. Between 8 and 9. Okay. Okay. Where are we? Wendy. So yours is a 5. Okay. Judgment and failure. Okay. Okay. Lack of motivation. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Paula Samah, like, tell me why. Because blah, 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 and also tell me, how do you want to feel? Fear of being seen. Yes, we're going to tap on that one. Yes. Yeah. So usually the blockages tend to fall into three things. There's this, I'm not good enough to succeed. There's the fear of being seen and stuff around money, uncertainty about the future. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I feel throughout my life, I've never been paid for my effort and always watched others get what I want as I step aside. Okay. 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 And so here it's also a question for you, Samah. Is it safe for you to be paid for your effort and to be recognized? How safe does that feel? Like, make note of it. The economic situation is blocking my business. Yes. Okay. I wish I can grow outside of Lebanon. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's a good one. Very good. Thanks, Nada, for sharing, and all of you for sharing. Okay, excellent. So let me stop the share. Yeah, very, very good points, guys. So let's do it. Let's tap on this. I'm afraid from others' messages and manifestation on me. What do you mean by that, Zaina? Are you afraid of other people, the way they'll judge you if you succeed? Yeah. No, what they manifest. Okay. Can you give me an example? Zaina, come on the speaker so I can hear you directly. You can unmute yourself, Zaina. Are you worried they will manifest and you won't? Or what they will project onto you? Just tell me.
Yes, yes. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, what they project on me. Like when I am when I am talking and expressing myself,
Mm,
people like
mm,
judge and put
yeah.
their all advices, wrong
Yeah.
advices, and
Mm, okay.
I get affected.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. So let's do some tapping. So you've all written what you wanted to work on. And I'm going to weave in what everybody's saying, but I'm also going to add a couple other things in case they resonate. Okay? So, side of the hand, everybody repeating out loud, even though part of me believes that I'm not good enough to succeed in my business. And I have all these reasons why. I accept how I feel. And I'm open to seeing myself and my business differently. Again, even though part of me believes I'm not good enough to succeed in my business. And I have all these reasons why. I accept how I feel. And I'm open to seeing myself and my business differently. Top of the head. Not good enough to succeed. Top of the eyebrow. Maybe I lack motivation and stamina to succeed. Side of the eye. Part of me doesn't feel I'm good enough to succeed. Under the eyes. Because look at the economic situation. Who's going to pay for my services? Under the nose. A part of me believes I don't know enough. On the chin. I'm still figuring things out. Under the collarbone. What if people judge me if I succeed? Under the arm. What if they think I'm a fraud? On the wrist. Not completely ready to succeed. On the thumb. I'm not an expert. Index finger. I don't feel confident enough to succeed. Middle finger. Maybe I need more experience or learning. Ring finger. Maybe I'm not qualified enough. Small finger. What if I lack the motivation to succeed? Top of the head. This fear I'm not good enough to succeed. Top of the eyebrow. Who am I to succeed? Side of the eye. Other people can succeed, but not me. Under the eyes. Maybe part of me believes other people are better than me in my field. Under the nose. Maybe part of me believes the market for what I do is saturated. On the chin. There are already so many practitioners, coaches, healers, creatives. Under the collarbone. Why would someone choose me? Under the arm. Maybe part of me believes I'm behind everyone else. On the wrist. Others in my field are more successful than me already. On the thumb. Maybe a part of me believes I'm too late. Index finger. I've missed the boat. Middle finger. Maybe a part of me believes I'm not capable enough. Ring finger. It takes so much energy to succeed. Pinky. I don't know if I have what it takes. Top of the head. I wonder if I have enough. I wonder if I have what it takes. Top of the eyebrow. People like me don't succeed. Side of the eye. Maybe part of me believes it's not safe for me to succeed. Under the eyes. Maybe part of me believes I'm not allowed to succeed and thrive. Under the nose. What if I don't deserve to flourish? On the chin. What if I'm not worthy of thriving? Under the collarbone. What if that's not true? Under the arm. Maybe this is just a belief I've carried. On the wrist. Maybe this isn't the whole truth about me. And just stop and take a breath. And just notice how you're feeling. I'm not good enough to succeed. And just tell me if something else popped up. You can write it in the chat. How are you feeling? What came up for you now? Did something feel a bit more amplified? Okay. Okay. So here it's about worthiness. Yes. Okay. Tension in my solar. Okay. And the solar plexus is also associated with worthiness. Yeah. And if you want to unmute and share, it's fine because we're 2468. We're a small group. Am I deserving? Yeah, good. So I was using strong words about safety, deserving, worthiness. They're strong words. So I was hoping one of them would be like a bit triggering. All were. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Paula, how are you doing?
I think that this is not instant
Sorry.
result. I think I need more practice, more tapping.
Okay.
That's what I feel. I cannot be. I'm honest with myself, so I cannot tell you, oh, I felt this, I felt that. No, it has something, but it needs time with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're slowly peeling the layers here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Paula, safety for me. Okay. And Wendy, anything you want to share?
I think for me, am I really deserving of? I feel like it's safe for me to succeed and to be seen. But it's more that subconscious belief, do I really deserve this? Am I really good enough? But also very much, have I missed the boat? Is it too late? I think sometimes, I'm 60 next year, and yeah, I guess seeing others succeeding and I've not really quite got to where I thought I would be by now. Yeah, there's a frustration there, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing. So let's do some more tapping on this. Even though, let me just mute you here. Yeah. So even though I still have this feeling that I'm not good enough to succeed in my business. A part of me believes I'm not worthy of it. Who am I to succeed? What if it's too late? I accept all these feelings. And I choose to accept myself as best as I can. Even though I still feel that I don't deserve to thrive. Maybe it's too late. Other people are succeeding, and I feel behind. I accept all these feelings, and I accept myself as best as I can. Top of the head. Am I really good enough to succeed? Top of the eyebrow. Is it really safe for me to succeed? Side of the eye. What would other people say or think if I succeeded? Under the eyes, this fear of being judged or criticized. Under the nose. What if it's too late for me to succeed? On the chin, feeling behind. Under the collarbone. Do I really deserve to thrive in my business? Under the arm. Is it really safe for me to succeed in my business? On the wrist. Am I really good enough to thrive in my work? On the thumb. Am I worthy of success in my work? Index finger. Do I know enough? Middle finger. Am I qualified enough? Ring finger. What if people don't think so? Small finger. This little voice inside of me that's saying, who do you think you are? Top of the head. All these reasons why I don't think I'm good enough to thrive in my work. Top of the eyebrow. These beliefs I've been carrying throughout my life. Side of the eye. They've just been trying to keep me safe. Under the eyes. Safe from failure. Under the nose. Safe from disappointment. On the chin. Because what if I try and I fail? Under the collarbone. I learned this somewhere along the way. Under the arm. That I'm not worthy of thriving. On the wrist. That someone like me cannot succeed. On the thumb. Someone like me doesn't have the right to succeed. Index finger. I got this message along the way. Middle finger. I wonder if it's absolutely true that I'm not good enough to thrive. Ring finger. Or it's just a story I've been telling myself. Pinky. Just to protect myself. Top of the head. Maybe that's not the whole truth about me. Top of the eyebrow. What if I can learn as I go? Side of the eye. What if I can grow my capability? Under the eyes. What if I don't need to have it all figured out? Under the nose. What if I have something really valuable to offer exactly as I am? On the chin. I can become more capable through doing. Under the collarbone. I can develop confidence step by step. Under the arm. I'm allowed to be in process, not perfection. On the wrist. Every step can teach me something I need. On the thumb. Maybe I can begin from where I am. Index finger. Maybe I can trust my next step. Middle finger. Maybe I can help people while learning to grow. Ring finger. What if I am good enough to thrive in my business? Small finger. What if I'm capable of flourishing in my work? Top of the head. What if it's safe for me to thrive? Top of the eyebrow. What if I'm allowed to thrive? Side of the eye. What if I deserve to thrive? Under the eyes. What if I'm worthy of thriving and succeeding in my business? Under the nose, just as I am. On the chin. What if my gifts and talents are a gift to the world? And stop and take a breath. And just notice how you're feeling. And we're going to do now the 9 gamut tapping. Okay, so you can just tap on this point, this specific point. I know some of you don't know how to do this, so I'm just going to share quickly. So don't do it, just listen. I'm going to guide you and say, close your eyes, open your eyes, look far down to the right, come back to me, look far down to the left, come back to me. Then I'm going to say, let's go round the clock with your eyeballs. I'm going to say 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. We're going to go round. And then I'm going to say, let's go the opposite way, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. We're going to go all the way round with the eyeballs. We're going to hum for a few seconds for the vagus nerve, count to 9 for the left brain, and hum again. Okay, so don't worry, I'm going to guide you. Listen to my voice. So now close your eyes, open your eyes, and with your eyeballs, look far down to the right hip and come back to me. Now look far down to the left hip and come back to me. And now with your eyeballs, go up 12 o'clock and go round 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now backwards 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And look at me and let's hum any tune. Count to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a final hum. And stop and take a breath. That's it. And just notice how you're feeling. Would anyone like to say anything? You can type or unmute yourself.
Hi.
Mm.
Hang on. That was really powerful for me. Thank you. I had lots of releasing, and I think the thing that you said about not feeling safe, that's definitely not feeling wanting to be visible and feeling and I've got so much experience and wealth of information that it's already there within me, and I just need to put it out there. And lots of releasing in the last round of tapping, lots of yawning and a little bit of burping. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well done, Paula. Thank you for sharing that. Would anyone else like to share or write? Okay. So the next thing that I'd like us to address that's really big is a big block for us is feeling safe being seen the visibility thing, that if we have a thriving and successful business, it means being seen. And that can be very scary for us. We would have gotten many messages like growing up, and we may be struggling with those things. All right. And so I just want you to close your eyes for a second. Just close your eyes. And as you're closing your eyes, I want you to think about being on stage, whatever that means for your business. For some of you, it could be on an actual stage, or for others, it could be like coming onto Instagram or being on Facebook, sharing about your work. It might mean having this larger platform to share your work, a larger client list, right? Speaking on social media, and just notice where you feel the discomfort in your body. Does your head contract? Does your stomach feel knotted? What happens to you? And you can just rate for yourself, like how safe is it for you to be visible and seen, especially as successful. So 10 is absolutely, I have no problem stepping into my light. 0 is I'm terrified. 5 is in between. And also just tell me, like, where are you in this rating, and what for you is scary about being seen? Just drop like a couple words for me. Okay, Zaina, 5. Good. So Denise, you had mentioned before the fear of being seen. Like, where are you now with your rating, and what is it about being seen or visible scares you? And also make note of, like, wow, yeah, of course, I remember when I was younger, just make note also of anything when you were younger. Maybe you got a message from your family, like, that you should, like, don't stand out and don't be too loud and don't take up too much space. And, you don't want to make a mistake in public. Fear of judgment. Okay. Throat area is contracted. Okay. No one would take me seriously. Okay, yes, really good one. Yes, yeah. Mistakes, untruths. Yeah, yeah. Okay, very good. Yeah, my throat. Yeah, it's our center of expression. Yeah, Nada.
I have no problem being on a stage and talking to the audience because I had very nice experiences in my work, and I used to give cooking classes on the TV for the Arab world.
Yeah. Nada, what's your block with being seen or being visible as successful? For you, there's no issue with that?
For me, I have the full confidence that I have no problem in my business. It's the situation, as I told you in the beginning. It's the economical situation, but I know that the sky is the limit for me, and that's why I want to go outside of Lebanon to grow it.
And how does the situation make you feel?
Being in Baghdad is really relaxing.
In Lebanon,
but the whole situation is worrying me. I'm very, very worried about the future, about the generations and our children and grandchildren who will live here. I'm very worried.
So for you, being seen would be being seen beyond Lebanon. It would mean expanding beyond Lebanon, being visible, successful beyond. Okay, so maybe Lebanon is a comfort zone for you, but here it means, like, can you expand beyond? And this is essential for everybody. Paula, shoulders contracted, head drawn. I'm afraid of envy. Yes, more than being seen. Okay, envy. Okay, very good. So let's do some tapping on this. This is a really big issue, really, really affects us. And everybody has a different comfort level, like as you can see from the comments, you know. So I want to start a bit with the messages that we would have gotten when we were young. You know, maybe we had a bad experience doing something in public, or about our behavior in public, or something we said. You know, so I want to address that and expand from there. Okay. And as always, feel free to change any of my words to make them more relevant for you. Okay. So here we go. Even though I probably absorbed some fearful messages growing up about being seen and heard, and they have shaped how I'm showing up in the world today. I choose to acknowledge them with kindness and compassion. So even though a part of me has felt afraid about being too visible, standing out in my success beyond my neighborhood, country, and I'm really worried about judgment, criticism, envy. I honor all my feelings, and I'm open to releasing this fear now. Even though part of me has been afraid to be more visible and successful in my work. It's told me to stay hidden. It's not safe to be seen. You're not worthy of being seen. I choose to acknowledge this feeling, and I'm open to shifting this story. Top of the head. All these messages growing up telling me to stay small. Top of the eyebrow. I was given the message that standing out was dangerous. Side of the eye. Embarrassing. Under the eyes. Selfish. Under the nose. No wonder I hesitate to put myself out there. On the chin. This fear of standing out, shining in my light. Under the collarbone. I might get hurt. Under the arm. People might be envious of me. On the wrist. What if no one takes me seriously? Top of the head. This old habit of shrinking to stay safe. Top of the eyebrow. This anxiety about being seen. Side of the eye. Feeling exposed and unprotected. If I'm too visible, too successful. Under the eyes. Better to stay under the radar. Under the nose. Otherwise, I might get into trouble. On the chin. Part of me doesn't feel safe to be seen. Under the collarbone. Better to be hidden than exposed. Under the arm. What if people judge me? On the wrist. What if I get it wrong? Top of the head. What if people laugh at me? Top of the eyebrow. It's not safe to be seen. Outside of my comfort zone. Side of the eye. What if I didn't hold on to those fearful messages? Under the eyes. I'm not that scared child anymore. Under the nose. I'm not that person who once believed them. On the chin. A part of me wants to be more visible and successful. Under the collarbone, because I want to help people. Under the arm. This internal conflict in me. On the wrist is just trying to keep me safe. Top of the head. This resistance is just trying to protect me from exposure. Top of the eyebrow. I thank it for keeping me safe for so long. Side of the eye. You have been doing a great job all these years. Under the eyes. Maybe I don't need protection in the same way anymore. Under the nose. I might be ready to take up a bit more space. On the chin, allowing myself to step out from behind the curtain. Under the collarbone, giving myself permission to be visible. Under the arm, one step at a time. On the wrist, I'm allowed to be heard. Top of the head, I'm a bit more open to the possibility of being seen. Top of the eyebrow, what if I am worthy of being seen exactly as I am? Side of the eye, I release the pressure to be perfect. Under the eyes, and embrace being real. Under the nose, it's safe for me to share my unique gifts and voice. On the chin, I'm open to take one small visible step. Under the collarbone, trusting the right people will welcome my voice and my presence. Under the arm, I'm learning to embrace my visibility. On the wrist, with ease and joy. Top of the head, I give myself permission to be seen. Top of the eyebrow, heard. Side of the eye, and valued. Under the eyes. Maybe I can be safe to step into my light. Under the nose, with ease and grace. On the chin, I'm allowed to have greater visibility and success. Under the collarbone, I'm worthy of being visible, valued, successful. Under the arm, I deserve to be seen and successful. On the wrist, I'm a little bit more excited to be seen. Top of the head. Because visibility is actually sharing my gifts to help people. And stop and take a breath. Lots of yawning. Very good. Very, very good. And we're going to do a 9 gamut. Let's like integrate these shifts. So just tap. There you go. Tap, tap, tap. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Now look far down to the right and come back to me. Now look far down to the left. Come back to me. And now we're going to go to 12 o'clock with the eyeballs. Look up. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And look at me. That's it. And let's hum. And count to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And hum. And stop and take a breath. Very good. I saw some lovely yawns. Yes. Yeah, so would anyone like to share anything? How are you doing? How was this for you? You know, how do you feel when you imagine yourself being in the spotlight, your spotlight? It's your light.
Can I?
Go ahead, Nada.
A lot of yawning, which
Very
is
good.
a very good sign. I was wondering, why do you do all this on one side?
You
You're
can,
using
yeah.
your right hand or your left hand, whatever, but all the time. You're not changing. You're not moving from one hand to another or one arm to another. Why?
So, Nada, the acupressure points are on both sides of the body. So whether I'm using the right or the left is exactly the same. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And
they scientifically examined this because EFT is a evidence based approach. You know, it's based on evidence.
mhm.
So yeah, okay.
And one more thing.
Yeah, Nada.
Sorry, but, why here, this
This one?
part of the hand
This one?
here? No, when you tap here, when we
I can't.
tap on the, you can't see. When we tap here on the,
Here. The side
yeah,
of the hand
why?
is where we acknowledge the issue, you know, and it helps our body when we're acknowledging the issue and it brings down the resistance in our body. So that's why we acknowledge and we accept how we feel because we can't change what we don't accept. And we do it here. This is the point that we do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Yeah. Thank you for your questions. So, Denise, would you like to share anything? Couldn't stop crying. It was so releasing. How are you doing now, Denise? Would you like to put on your mic and share a bit? If you like. Mm. Mm.
Mhm.
You're looking for the unmute button, Denise? Okay. While you're looking for it, let me check in with others. Wendy, how are you doing?
Yeah, okay. The round before, I actually felt quite emotional. I felt sort of like the tears pricking slightly. And I wrote down, because I actually feel my upbringing was very supportive in the sense of it's okay to have a voice, it's okay to be successful. You know, my dad was very successful in business, so a very grounded, safe environment. But also a lot of perfectionism. And what came up for me there was feeling the potential to maybe be exposed. And I thought, why? And does that lean them back into being exposed for not being good enough, not knowing enough, being a bit of a fraud, imposter syndrome kind of feelings? And for me, as I said previously, it's that fear of failure.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
And is this an experience you've had? Is it touching on a past experience around failure?
Potentially, yes. I mean, I lost my sort of whole business back in lockdown, which was nothing to do with EFT.
Okay.
But that was not really through any fault of my own, but I think I've tried various things in that period that haven't, yes, there's been some success, a lot of success in many ways, but I'm kind of not where I want to be or thought I would be by now. And a couple of things have flopped.
Okay.
But yeah, so there has been some failures.
So I also recommend to think about if there's your experience, but then did you witness anyone else fail? Okay, that's when you were younger. And did anyone else in your family fail? Did anyone in your family lose everything?
My dad did.
Okay, so
And my
then,
dad, that was very
okay,
early 90s, and I went through all of that with him, and it was
okay.
bad.
So that's what I recommend you
Never
tap
thought of
on.
that till now.
Yeah, that's what because the way you're talking makes it feel like it's not yours. When I hear you talking, it feels like you're repeating something from the past.
Yeah.
And for us, many times we want to keep a loyalty with our parents because and that's why we repeat things. So, for example, in my case, my dad, sacrificed himself and worked so hard in Saudi Arabia and he hated it. And so my working habit was like, I have to burn out and sacrifice the idea of working and it being at ease, working joyfully was like unheard of.
Be pain. There had to
Yeah,
be
but
struggle.
it was like a loyalty bond with my dad unconsciously, because I heard those stories as a child. So it's really worth then doing a tapping on what you experienced when you were younger with your dad, and maybe some of the things he went through, like through like an ancestral like tapping. You
Yes,
know,
absolutely. It
that's
makes me
what I
feel
would
quite
recommend.
emotional. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
work to be done there. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, dear. Yeah. And this goes for everybody. If you find yourself in the same thing and you don't really have a reason to, explain it, and you've done the work on yourself and you're not getting to like memories, and you're probably playing out something from your family. Okay. So that's very powerful. Okay. Sama, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Is a few things, um, like from people who are close to you, and how I was treated while I was growing up, which is why maybe I shrink myself and I feel like I'm not worthy. Someone else is more worthy of what I'm having,
Yeah.
which is a bit hurtful. And
Mm.
throughout the whole time, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know if it makes sense, but I felt like like you're having a heartbreak. Like I'm literally experiencing a heartbreak, which is very intense for me, صراحة. But
Okay.
it was an eye opener, honestly.
Okay. And just notice how young is that part of you that feels heartbroken.
Yeah,
Try to jot down, this sounds like a child,
yeah,
So how young is that? And then it's worth doing a work on that, yeah, and all of you will have this recording. Anyways, I'm putting it, like making it available. So you'll be able to go back and like work with a younger self or anything, that you feel is necessary.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for
Thank
sharing that. Paula, you said you had a lot going on in your younger years.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw your comments here.
Yeah,
Secondary
well,
school.
interestingly, I was diagnosed with dyslexia and ADHD recently, and I feel that if I was diagnosed in my younger years, then life would have made a lot more sense. And I
Mm,
still feel that I'm dealing with a lot of those issues from childhood, that I was judged and told I was lazy and, that I wouldn't amount to much. I was regularly told, you won't succeed in life.
Okay.
I have lots of big, wonderful ideas, but I have trouble executing those. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
fear of being seen is huge because,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that would need some good inner child healing work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
doing lots of that. Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
yeah,
Good for you. Good
yeah,
for you. Yeah. So it's ADHD. Ah, Wendy. Yes. My husband was recently diagnosed with ADHD, Paula, and feels very similar.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard
Absolutely. Yeah.
at a later life to have had that diagnosis,
Mm.
and it makes I was very lucky to have had some psycho education and how to explain how the brain works
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're neurodivergent, and it explains so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
How I
absolutely.
think, how I work, and I've been able to, yeah, and that's hopefully one area of EFT I'd like to do in my practice. So,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Of
yeah,
course. Our
yeah,
challenges then can become our
of
gifts.
course, yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Paula. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah. Very good. Well done. Good work. Paula.
thank you.
Actually, I felt a lot of tensions, and that's when I started joining. It was really much better.
Mm,
But I love EFT. You know that I feel
mm,
it really shifts the mindset. It's really
mm,
something that uh, takes you from bottom up. It brings you from the bottom upwards.
mm. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Denise, would you like to share anything? If you found your unmute. Haven't found the unmute. Zaina, would you like to share while we're waiting for Denise to find the unmute? Zaina, would you like to share anything?
Yes, yes.
How are you?
I couldn't continue the tapping.
Okay, that's okay.
I think
You went up to a certain point?
yes, I was doing the tapping, then suddenly I felt so I couldn't. There were a lot of stuff on my mind.
Okay. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling good because I listened to the words you were saying about
Mm,
um, what if I give myself a chance? What if I succeed? I
mm,
have a small business. I'm trying to do something with my business, and I love to be seen. I feel safe when when I'm seen.
Okay. Okay. So good. These
But
were like
but
affirmations
I but
reinforcing for you. Hmm.
yes, I am on therapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am on therapy with a psychotherapist.
Okay.
It's a bit it's a bit hard because I'm trying to talk about a lot of stuff, but we talk about the present.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But
as you
I
can hear
mean,
from everybody's comments, it will come, especially the theme of being seen will touch everybody's past, for sure. It's one of the ultimate fears that we carry, to be seen, to be visible, to be successful, to be thriving, and not worry about what other people think, you know?
I
Uh,
love to be seen. I
yeah,
love to be seen, but I have some fears.
yeah, yeah. That's what we were tapping on today. Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Denise?
First of all, thank you for this beautiful session.
You're
When
welcome.
when we started the tapping, I cried a lot at the start. Hearing myself saying this and feeling all this coming out of me, it was I never felt like this before. It's something was happening while I was doing the statements. And at the end, while talking about the visibility and the safety, because this is my main, now when you said talk, I felt something just by talking or saying it's just simple via Zoom. There is something in my subconscious so afraid of being visible.
Yeah. And like I said to Wendy, like some of it might belong to you and some of it might not even belong to you. It's
Yes, of course.
worth exploring this. Definitely.
How?
Okay. Well, I recommend through tapping, through EFT. Yeah,
We
I
can do it
recommend
through
through.
tapping. Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can do it through tapping. And here I would, through a one-on-one session, you can target a bit more like you and your experiences. I think that can help.
All right.
Or just repeating what we did today with the recording, But so, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, everybody. So as we're nearing the end, I would like to do a closing of the circle. And then let's take a peek at your statements that you did at the beginning, see how you feel about them. Okay. So we're going to close the circle now with a final, nice tapping to bring it together. Okay. So top of the head. Okay. Everything I discovered. Top of the eyebrow. All this new awareness. Side of the eye. I honor the work I've done today. Under the eyes. I thank all my fears and doubts. Under the nose. They have been working so hard to protect me from hurt. On the chin. Perhaps their work is done. Thank you. Under the collarbone. The courage it took to show up today. Under the arm. To look within. On the wrist. And meet myself with compassion. Top of the head. I'm creating space for new possibilities. Top of the eyebrow. I don't have to have it all figured out. Side of the eye. I can learn as I go. Under the eyes. I can grow as I go. Under the nose. Creating more space to trust. On the chin. More space for confidence. Under the collarbone. More space for receiving with ease. Under the arm. More space to be seen. On the wrist. More space for sharing my gifts. Top of the head. I can take one step at a time. Top of the eyebrow. I can grow this in my own way. Side of the eye. I can create a thriving business that fits my life. Under the eyes. I can help people while continuing to grow. Under the nose. Open to new possibilities. On the chin. Open to greater confidence. Under the collarbone. I can create success that honors my well-being. Under the arm. Excited to share my gifts with people who need them. on the wrist. Maybe I can have a thriving business. Top of the head. Maybe I can attract the right clients. Top of the eyebrow, who are willing to pay for the help they value. Side of the eye. What if it's safe to receive money for meaningful work? Under the eyes. Maybe I can make a great living doing what I love. Under the nose. Maybe I can help people and get well paid. On the chin. Maybe my abundance and offering my skills can go together. Under the collarbone. Maybe I can create a business that supports me. Under the arm. Maybe I can be both successful and balanced. On the wrist. Maybe I can have both success and freedom. Top of the head. Maybe I can trust the next step. Top of the eyebrow. I'm excited about my next step. Side of the eye. All the ways I will expand who I am. Under the eyes. I love making a difference in the world. Under the nose, and creating a thriving business. And stop and take a breath. And notice how you're feeling. And just notice those statements we said at the beginning. I just want you to notice, I believe I can receive X from my business, and how true that felt. Just notice how's your number on that. And just notice this one. It feels safe for me to thrive in my business. How's the number on that? How do you feel now about having a thriving business? Did anything change for you? And for those of you with a practice about charging, did anything happen with that? What did you notice? Yeah, and if anyone would like to share anything as a final share. Paula, yes, it's gone up from 4 to a 7. Energy is buzzing in my body. Very good. Nice. The number changed, yeah, by a lot. Yes, good. Yeah, so just notice what happened with those initial statements after doing all this tapping you did today. Well done, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I do private sessions, one-on-one sessions for anyone who feels they want to work more individually with the way I approach things. I'm also running an EFT practitioner certification training that starts late in September. And it's accredited, and it's a very deep work in case that interests anybody. Otherwise, I thank you so much for this beautiful work you've done today together. Really wonderful work. And, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here for each other. And I'm going to stop the recording.